Sending data. Gotta get our screen going. Alright, we're picked up. Man, that's a shame. If my bitrate will sort itself out, this show started. That's good. There we go. Aligned perfectly. That's more like it. Get a towel over here. Not doing this right. There we go. A little more tension there. I am making a model called the Cracticus. It's a fully articulated tabletop piece that stands about this tall. And if you want to download and print them, just use that Q&R code there and you can get them for free. Yeah. How are you doing tonight, Sam? Thank you for stopping by. Actually, I'm not just building them, I'm rebuilding them. I screwed the knees up, so I had to reprint out a lot of the parts. Nope, it's not from 40K. It's actually mostly made for one-page rules. It's a proxy, but it can do things that the 40K models can't. You see? It moves. All the parts do. Oops. I'm knocking parts off as I'm talking to you. Yeah. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to start my live stream a little bit earlier because I've been doing it at like 11 o'clock to like 1. It's just kicking my butt, so I'm trying to do it a more reasonable time frame. Get the armor plate back on here. There we go. So yeah. No, I was interested in Warhammer, and I liked the knights, but I didn't like that they couldn't move, so I made my own. And then I didn't care to learn the rules for Warhammer 40K, so I figured I'd start with one-page rules because it's just more condensed. And that's what this guy is for, in particular. Yeah. Where was I? I gotta put the other knee together. Oops. There we go. I do mostly like mechs and mechanical stuff now. Yeah, but I've been trying to get into more organics. Like I do want to have soldiers and stuff to go along with this guy and make some other like opponents that are very biomechanical. You know, like a cybernetic kind of enemy to this guy, as well as a few other ideas I have, like an insectoid kind of race. And I've been getting into sculpting. Like, I've been using Nomad and all the free stuff, just trying to get used to sculpting. It's very different from designing mechanical stuff, but yes, eventually. I intend to get into more organic forms. And especially, like, I really want to do, like I said, the biomechanical, where I have a combination of the machine and the organic, like, together to make something big and terrifying this guy can fight. Or little and terrifying as well. I guess it doesn't really answer all your questions. I mean, I do spaceships as well and stuff like that too. There's a few examples on that website that I posted there. But yeah, I try and dabble in a little bit of everything. Oh yeah, the power armor I'm working on is a little clunky right now, but it's going to be about a 32 millimeter piece that'll stand next to a normal soldier, and it's a very World War I British looking thing. It's not like a Space Marine at all, you know. The only thing I would say that was similar to it was kind of like the Power Pack, but I tried to stay away from that just because, like, every proxy has the same Power Pack, it looks like. So I've been just trying to differentiate as much as possible. And then I've got vehicles in mind and stuff like that. I'm working on a tank and a tank base as well too. Problem is time, having enough time to do it all. This guy goes right here. Are you into 40K yourself or some other? Yeah, World War I. Awesome. Are you into 40K or some other tabletop thing or model building in general? Go. Little test fit here. Make sure everything aligns. Like I said, I am having to rebuild these legs because I put the knees on upside down and backwards. I've made this model so many times I completely screwed up. Go figure. I'll just start anywhere. Get any model kit you can and give it a go. I mean, it's fun, you know. This one's free if you've got a 3D printer. If you're into that, it's really I wouldn't say it's terribly easy to print, but you know, it's not terrible to print. You know, and it's fun. And I'm starting to paint this guy too as well. That's a slow process because I'm learning to use an airbrush for the first time. Watch the glue, don't want to get myself covered in it. Where's my spatula? My little spatula. Good evening! Welcome, JK. How are you tonight? What's new? You guys let me know if my music is too loud. I think I was turned it down. There we go. What do you say, JK? Those are always fun. Always loved the World War I planes. I made a lot of those as a kid. The Red Baron was one of my favorite ones. The Volker D. Oh, you did? You know what, man? Once you catch the bug, it's hard to stop. You know, you start going down all the lore rabbit holes and stuff, and eventually you're like, maybe I'll get a kit, just one kit, and then now you're addicted. You know, I was talking to a guy today on the job site. He was a carpenter, and you know, he had an accent. I said, "Oh, where are you from?" And he said, "Oh, I'm from England." I was like, "Do you play 40K?" He was like, "Yes." I'm like, "Aha." He's like, "Actually, I just started up again because I was looking at the lore and I got hooked on it." And I was like, "Oh, there you go." You know, it just grips you. By the way, JK, you may notice I'm redoing the knees. Remember the other night I couldn't get the knee pads to fit? Turns out I have put them on upside down and backwards. You'd think that I would know how to put this thing together, but I screw up sometimes too. There's my cap. There we go. So we are rebuilding his lower extremities. No, it wasn't broken. It was just like the problem is that these tabs are identical. And I should have made them slightly longer, slightly shorter, so you can flip them around and put them in the wrong place so that when you put the knee pads on, they don't align properly. So it was just a design flaw, you know. Now I'm correcting it, and he will be back to normal. Because you see, this larger hole is supposed to be on the inside of the knee, not on the outside. Oops. But hey, I've got something to do to hang out with you guys. Speed. I have to look that one. Look that one up. SPADS. Let me grab my phone. I'm curious what that is. I'm horrible with names, but I may have seen it before. Okay, hold on with my slow droid. Here we go. SPADX. 13, is that what that is? If I got my Roman numerals right there. Oh, yeah. Is that Stop with Camel? Or is that's a French plane, isn't it? Very nice. Is that French? No. Yes, no, yes, no. I don't know. Yeah, the biplane era was something else, man. I mean, growing up with model kits, I always loved the biplanes, always loved the triplanes, and they always had the coolest like paint schemes on them too, you know. And it's like, why do they have camouflage, for an airplane? And it's like, well, it's because it's on the ground. You don't want the other guys to see it. But then you got like my personal favorite, like I mentioned, is the Red Baron. Uh, just reached level 1. What's this? Botrix official. Oh, Sam, I guess you reached level 1. That's what Botrix official says in the text there. Whatever that means. Now, hip time. It's hip to be square. Let's see here. Ah, okay. I haven't seen much about French airplanes in World War One. It's mostly just about the Germans and the British that they talk about. So it's official. I told my wife today I'm buying a 3D printer. Oh no, man! What are you gonna do with that piano? Where are you gonna put that thing? Is it a grand piano? Then, boy, those are hard to get rid of. No, congratulations. I hope you have fun, man, because that's what it's all about. Besides, you buy a piano and it sits there forever. Unless you got kids playing it all the time, that they just tend to sit there. So that's that hip, and this is this hip. Get the right hip here. Now, congratulations, man. And hey, like if you have any problems printing stuff, you can always just pop in and ask, because like I got a lot of tips and tricks over the years, after doing this for so long. I mean, I've had times where I just wanted to throw my printer up against the wall and destroy it because I mean, they sometimes they don't cooperate, But fortunately, I didn't, and I've gotten the wiser as a result of it. Gotten better at it. That's fair trade, I guess. Well, I guess it's a cost benefit analysis. How much does your printer cost, versus how much is the piano worth, you know? That's funny. Now let's see here. I can't. This is always a difficult phase with the hip here. Oh, JK, did I ever tell you guys that I also have, I don't think I have my, move this time, be a lot of glare there, my YouTube channel posted in the chat, but you're on YouTube, I believe. If you go to my channel, my page, there are instructionals on how to do the robot, Oh, hell yeah. Happy wife, happy life. Darn right about that. Believe me, I know. But that happiness, it's limited. What have you done for me today? You'll find something. So, Sam, where are you from? There we go. Let's see here. Get some glue on this guy. Oh, New Zealand? Oh, I'm from Missouri, Midwest of America, right in the middle. Also known as a flyover state. We're the part of the country they don't want to know about. There we go. This guy there. The true advantage to 3D printing. You can make all the parts you need to. So was I right about NZ? That's New Zealand, right? There you go. How is it up there in Quebec right now? Like, what's the temperature? Because here it's like 36 degrees. It gets bad. I imagine New Zealand is probably pretty nice right about now. Ah, awesome sauce. Okay, let's cross pin this guy so we don't overshoot it. I've only known two New Zealanders in my time. The fellow, his name was Ryan, and he was from Christchurch, and he was a farmer, and he drove combines, and he would do migrant farming. He would go all over the world and run the combines for every major big agri company out there. Good living. Nice guy. Yeah, we could use some rain. Oh man. What's the temperature down there? Let me guess. It's like 22. Well, JK, what's it like up there? Like, what temperature are you looking at? Because it's got to be better than here. Ah, there you go. It's a small world. Beautiful town from what I've seen. A lot of historical buildings. St. Louis, my town, is quite like that. Oh, mid 30s. Wow, you are getting it up there, aren't you? That sucks. Okay, there's one hip down. I better have done that right. I better not have cocked that up. Let's just double check here so I'm not crazy. Come on, knee joint. Don't be a jerk. Ah, there we are. See now, you can see how that lines up there in the top, that notch. It was off center the other day. Now it's straight in line. 8 degrees C. Wow, that is cold. Chile. I'll take it though. I love the cold. Of course, come winter time, JK, you probably get it really bad up there. We have pretty mild winters here. I bet you guys are glad to get those storms up there. I mean, you had some wildfires there for a while that just would not seem to stop. They were endless. Okay. Come on. So many old buildings were destroyed. Oh, yeah. I remember that. That sucks. Are they actually going to try and restore them? Are they going to try and restore any of those old buildings? I hope they do. That is awfully stiff. We may need to do some filing here. Come on. That's funny. Yeah, I guess since you're below the equator, it's your winter time right now. So summer is like on the verge for you. It's getting there. That's what to remember that, you know. We're coming up on our fall season here, thank God. And I'll be able to finally wear some normal clothing. I'm sick and tired of wearing t-shirts and shorts all the time and sandals. Actually be able to wear my boots and stuff again. I'll use some sandpaper on this guy. Probably should have sanded this before I put it together, but I'm stupid. I make mistakes. That's why 3D printing has saved me. I can make a lot of mistakes and make them over and over again until I get it just right. What's that email notification? Oh, really? Mm. Yeah, some developers could be like, oh, now's our chance to put in some ugly building in its place. They typically do that. You know, we had that fire in Lahaina, Hawaii, and all the developers came down. They want to just replace all the classic architecture with some brutalist stuff and just typical. And then there was Palo Alto, I think, in California. They got burned out too, and they're not going to replace anything that we lost out there. They're just going to pave it over and start fresh. Cool. So now let's get these guys bonded to the calves. I'm feeling better about this. I was so frustrated yesterday on these, and these did not work out. I was like, grr. Of course, it was like 2 a.m. here, and I was pretty exhausted. I was like rolling over in bed, like, oh, I gotta reprint those knees. Woke up first thing this morning, fire up the printer. Make sure I got the right one here. There we go. Good and tight. But the wrong one. There I go again. I think I got the wrong one. Aha. Oh, stream lags a bit on Twitch. I don't know. That sucks. Hold on, I'll get you a link. That really sucks because like Twitch is just kicking my butt. It told me to change my bit rate, and I did, and I guess it's just not working. Hold on here, let me go to my channel here. Hold on here, let me. Okay. Is it like really laggy, like from what you can see? Like is it like super choppy? Or is it just like a little laggy? There's a link. I should get you to the YouTube channel. Okay, now it's telling me my health is excellent. Hit that. And yeah, see, I have my bit rate limited. It should be limited to 5K, but for some reason it's going above 5K. I mean, I'm still figuring this stuff out. Well, let me just pull up my output on stream. 5K. I'll bring it down to 4,500. And guys, let me know if the film quality, if the stream quality changes too badly. I can always bring it back up. I'm still learning. Awesome sauce. Lionheart. That's an awesome Van Damme film from the 1980s. God. Okay, let's test the knee here again. Yeah, YouTube seems to be better about bitrate and quality. Doing my shop, doing this work in my shop in the basement of the house. See, there we go. Look at that. Oops. No, don't look at that. Look at this. I had it. Okay. Now you can see everything's lined up. I'm not crazy. I just did it wrong. Yeah, yeah. Download the files. Check them out. Oh, I'm sorry, not download the files. You're talking about Lionheart the movie. Yeah, watch that. It's funny and fun. It's just a classic 80s Van Damme film. So good. Okay. So was Twitch like really choppy or was it just like a little lag? You know? Still beta testing. Here we are. Now let's see here. Good. This one. Oh, you had a shop on the lake? That's like a dream. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, like I that would be that'd be really sick to have like a beautiful lake view right here while I'm working on models. I think I'd be more satisfied than I am. Oh man. Have a bad PC, sir? Ah, well, I mean, you're also on the other side of the planet, you know, on an island out in the middle of the ocean. I mean, I'm glad that you're able to make it here and I'm not able to make it out there. Things will get better in time. It's not quite lining up. I'm just going to do it without it. I mean, shoot, all the way from America to New Zealand. That's a long way. Besides, hang on to that PC, considering how things are going up in price, like in terms of like memory and stuff like that. Oh my God, you know, the value of your, the value of what you call your bad PC has probably gone up quite a bit. I mean, I built my PC right before all the troubles began with like the data centers and stuff going up, and the video card I bought went up like $500 within a month, and I was like, good God, man, just because it was an Nvidia. Okay, there we go. A little tighter there. Yeah, Lake Shop does sound like a dream. Just like if I had a lake shop, I'd like cast a fishing line out and just have it sitting there while I was working on something. Zing, bring it in, grill it right there. Be awesome. Okay, do this guy too. Oh, you did? Oh man, I'm sorry. God, RAM, it's ridiculous. And I hear that some of the data centers that have purchased all that RAM, they're just sitting on it. They're not even using it because the data centers aren't ready. So like every day they're just losing money because it's just not being used. They bought it in anticipation of having these huge data centers, and if you don't make it, you can't use the memory, and it's just collecting dust. It's weird. Totally shot that around. I'll tell you what I'll do, JK. Next time I'll make my background like a lake, just so I can pretend like on that one. uh, The only water that's close by here is the mighty Mississippi, and trust me when I say it ain't pretty. It's just mud water. Trench cats swimming around in it. Oh, there she blows. Gotcha. All right. So let these two dry. Put this knee pad, and let these two dry. Oh, now I gotta do this guy. And then we're going to pull off the old parts and repopulate them onto his new legs. Lake Glimmer Valdez. I bet it was. Since I have my Google open already, let's have a look. Valdez. Images. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. Too bad you left, man. That's beautiful. God. Ooh, look at that. Oh, is that an Asian carp? I hope you guys don't have Asian carp in that lake. Oof. They're a pain in the butt. Yeah, yeah. Got the map image right here. The silhouette. That's beautiful, man. But you can ice skate on that sucker when it freezes over in the wintertime too, huh? Ah, okay. It's stocked. Gotcha. The one picture I saw that looked like he had an Asian carp in his hand. I guess it was just a really fat fish, you know, some other breed. Like you're in some of the Missouri waterways, the Asian carp are so thick, you slap the water, they'll jump out, and they can literally kill you. They're so heavy, you know. They're just a big, fat, bony fish. Okay, put that. Oh. And now comes the fun part. Let's get this guy glued up. Yeah, a little more glue because this is a high wear area. We want it to be tough. Okay. There we go. Aligned properly. Well, that's trying to keep the sucker moving. Shoot, New Zealand's got some wonderful waterways too, right? Like the North Island's the more tropical island, and the Southern Island's the one that's a little cooler, as I recall, right? That was the more temperate zone. You know, actually, fun fact: New Zealand has one of the most unique crustacean species on the world. It is the it's look it up. It's a giant crayfish that looks like a lobster, and they live to be like 100 years old. It's awesome. Oh yeah, you know how it is. You live somewhere your whole life and you never visit any of the sites. It's like we have the arch here. You know, I never go to it. I've been there once when I was a kid. You know, we've got some nice lakes at the Mark Twain conservation area. It's supposedly very beautiful. Never been. You know, if it wasn't in the school itinerary when I was in elementary school, it didn't happen. There we go. All right. Pull that cross pin. Good. Now our hip ball joint has been connected appropriately. Let those guys dry for a minute. I am going to, I had a beverage. I'm going to get a beverage from my refrigerator over there. And then I'm going to check my print. So follow me over there. Ah, there's my, found it. Cool. I'm printing out the alternate hands for this guy. One of the hands that you may see is he's got fingers. The other one is like a gauntlet, like an old knight's gauntlet. This is over there. We have the largest skating rink in the world. 50 minutes. That's cool. What is how big is it? Like how many meters? Now I'm curious. Is it just a lake that they like cordon off and use, or is it actually like a man-made skating rink? Seven kilometers. That's cool. You could just get a sail out and like sail on your skates. That's what I would do. Get a kite and just kind of like let it pull you around. That'd be fun. I love ice skating too, but it always goes straight to my shins. Like my shins want to give out, like within the first 20 minutes whenever I try. Okay, what are we doing here next? There is the chest hydraulics, which I'm going to need to do, and these are a pain in the butt. Okay, let's make sure we have our right ones with the right ones. Don't want to screw this up again. You guys stay over there. I could pretend to be organized now. Moving stuff around. Okay. I don't. No, I think I did make these to length. Okay, here we go. So the fun part about these hydraulics for the chest, you know, for them to move up and down here in this area, they have these T-shaped cutouts in the top, and the hydraulic has a T notch on it so that when you put it in and you twist it, it locks it in place so it doesn't come out. So in case you move the model back, the hydraulics don't flip out, and you got to finagle them back in. They're in until you rotate them back out. But you got to make sure you put them together right, otherwise they won't work. Should go eat a nice beaver tail. Do you actually eat the beaver tail? A new one to me. I've never eaten beaver. Not something that's big on the menu down here in the Midwest, just to be honest. It's got to be sanded off. There we go. Oh yeah. I've seen that one on nature shows where guys are eating root tails. The Aboriginals hunting roos and stuff like that. I mean, you occasionally see it around here, like at like specialty meat shops and stuff like that. But most people, you know, they're not too adventurous. They just want their chicken, their pig, and their beef and their fish, pretty much. Ah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds really good. Sounds fattening though. Well, have you ever had a Rocky Mountain oyster before? See if you know that one. And no cheating. You have to have some huevos in order to eat the Rocky Mountain oyster, if you catch my drift. Now, the one thing that was funny, I was watching a movie the other day that was shot in Canada by Kevin Smith. Never heard of it? Okay, just go ahead and Google Rocky Mountain oyster and check it out. You got a strong stomach. Okay, this guy. I need to measure that. I forgot what the. I think it's 12 millimeters. Oh, another thing too for you metric guys, we still use imperial here in America, but when it came to design this model, oh my God, don't even try doing it in imperial. It was metric all the way. So much easier when you're engineering stuff in metric. Okay, so it's about 15. I want to write that one down. Because I'm stupid, I will forget if I don't write it down. And having a functional pen would help. Where's my pad and paper? Yeah, I know, right? Well, I'll just say it. Rocky Mountain oysters are bull testicles that are cut and fried. And trust me when I say I wouldn't eat them either. You know, I'll try everything once, and after trying that, never again. So I said 15 millimeters on that. I believe those are the rear ones. Remember, guys, in the torso, the longer ones go in the back. Let's get a short one here and see what that measures. I think that's 12 is what it was. Yeah. I got to be careful, though. I'm going to get hungry. I got some protein bars to kind of tide me over if necessary. Let's see here. Beaver tail pastry. Not the actual beaver tail. Oh, yeah. That's awful. That would kill, dude. That would kill Elvis. Yeah, dude, my son would be all over that. He's got such a sweet tooth. He's always like, Dad, let's go get a donut. Let's go get a pastry. I indulge him every once in a while. Yeah, dude. You should do that. Take it, make it, and then give it to people in New Zealand and see what they think. Maybe you start a new trend. It's going to be your fortune. You never know. That's true. That's true. You guys need a lot of calories up there. You know, you just shiver the calories away as you're skating 7 kilometers across an icy front. Okay. Yes. Yeah, there you go. You never know, man. I mean, You come into town with a new recipe that everybody hasn't tried before and it takes off. That happens. Like, see, what was the last trend that took off here in Missouri, food-wise? It was Korean barbecue. Those things popped up everywhere. We had Korean barbecue all over the place. And they dominated for so long. Because, it was new and it was tasty. Oh, poutine. You want heartburn? Try poutine. It's hilarious, man. I'll fry up some chips, or air fry them just to be, a little healthier. And I'll put gravy on them and all the sauces. And my son will look at me like, Dad, you're not eating poutine again, are you? Break out the Alka-Seltzer. It's good. It's just not very good for you. But again, if you're skating 7 kilometers, a day, you'll be fine. Now, if you guys want to try a local delicacy from St. Louis, you might have heard of them, you might not have, but it's ravioli, but toasted ravioli. So give those a look up. With toasted ravioli, you got to get the marinara sauce and dip it with the Parmesan. Oh man, I'm telling you, forget about it. Okay, there's that little guy. Let's measure him out. Yeah, I was right. About 12 millimeters. Okay, cool beans. Gotta write it down because I'm stupid. Let's see here. I hope we put cheese. I'm sorry. We don't really have cheese curds much around here. You gotta go a little further south for that. So I'm doing it, the bowling alley style with the shredded cheese, my man. Sorry. It's what I got. You make do. Okay. So I need two 12 millimeter and two 15 millimeter pieces. So let's lock this down. 15. By the way, guys, if you ever make this model, you don't have to use the metal. You could just, in the files, there's just like the standard hydraulic lowers that you could just print out. I just wanted to put metal on it because I think it's cool. There we go. Metal cutter. And our magnifier, because I'm becoming blind as a bat. It's a small detail. Get it good. Oops, not quite aligned yet. There we go. Okay, grip it, spin it, grip it a little more, spin it a little more, grip it, spin it, bink, hallelujah. Le trap fromage. That'd be great. You know what, dude? You can send it to me. It doesn't mean I get it because my wife has a nose for that stuff and she'll find it in the mail before I do. I'll tell you guys a funny story. So my wife's from Ukraine, right? They're big into sausages and things like that. But once upon a time, I used to be a gunsmith back in the day. And I was out at the shooting range testing a rifle that I had put together. And this old fella came up to me and he said, "Sir, I've locked my keys in the car. Can you give me a ride to Warrington, the next town over, where my wife has my keys, so I could get into my truck?" And I said, "Sure." So I give him a ride back to his farm, and he had this long barn out there, which was a meat processing plant. And he goes in there, he comes out, he's got snack sticks, you know, and he's got this one summer sausage that he made. He said, "Now, sir, this summer sausage is a very special blend. It was my grandfather's, sausage recipe from Austria." And this dude, mind you, he was like, 85 or something like that when I met him all those years ago. So that recipe was definitely original. He says, "Just keep this in the fridge, in the freezer until Christmas time and break it out. It's a very special flavor, very special sausage." So I do that. I go home, I'm snacking on snack sticks. I put the summer sausage in the freezer. Next day I come downstairs. Who do I find there? My Ukrainian wife holding like a little nub that's left of that sausage. Just, and I'm like, ah! It's like, I didn't even get to try it, She got to it before I could. Unbelievable. But like Sam said, happy wife, happy life. So she ate my sausage. Yeah. That was just perfect. First two ingredients be retail in the video I saw were sugar and yeast. Oh yeah? You making your own wine there, buddy? I've done a little of that in my time. Just a little Concord grape juice, some turbo yeast, and a little extra sugar, and a nice warm dark place. About 10 days minimum. Then you got some decent hooch. Let's see here. Yeah. My uncle taught me how to do that. He's from Kentucky, and he was the town lawyer, but he also had a pastoral degree, so he was the pastor for the town as well as a lawyer and the local moonshiner. So he gave him salvation one way or the other. He taught me how to make Applejack, so it's basically apple juice wine. Good stuff. There we go. Got some zits on that guy there. Oh yeah, he was a great guy. God rest his soul. But he left me with some talent. Let's see here. So you can see this goes in like so, and then rotates and locks in place. That. There we go. At least I hope I'm doing it right. When you glue these things, you got to make sure they're perpendicular to each other. Thank you for the amen. Appreciate you. So this has to. Okay. Yeah. Because when this guy locks in, it's got to rotate so that it can slide into the upper mount bracket up here. So they got to be perpendicular one another. Okay. One at a time. Okay. Come on. Oops. Make sure that glue is evenly distributed. Yes, it did. Every last bit. When I was making them, I was like, I think I showed you this the other day. I was like, you got to have details on them, like the reactor cover, the vent system. You know, like I'm not sure if you can see there, but there's turbines up in the top of the cooling towers, and like all the piping, the plumbing, you know, the reserve tanks. I was thinking to myself, like, well, what would like a B-17 Flying Fortress have on it? You know, like what would a soldier need? Like, what kind of backup systems would it have? So I figured, you know, these robots would have that too. You know, there'd be warning symbols and latches and what do you call them, like safety hatches and all kinds of stuff. So I just started making like components I thought would apply to the model, and then as I was going through the model, I'm like, oh yeah, put a vent there, put a hatchway there, you know, put rivets there. Where would the support structures be? So on and so forth like that. Yeah. The gunsmith to model maker. Yeah, exactly, right. Well, you know, like I was talking with JK the other day, it all started with animation when I was a kid. You know, the Japanese animes were just so detailed, you know, and they were like, and I was a big like Toho Godzilla fan too. So like they always had models back in the 1960s movies and stuff that they were stepping on. And I really enjoyed that. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Got to knock on my door. Get back. I let them out flat. I didn't know. So in that case, it's just to make it seem well, it's bad. Oh no, it was just I just noticed it. I thought I heard a wind and two right behind me. He came right in the kitchen. People not I don't know. Anyway, okay. Sorry about that. Had a little doggy emergency. You know, those puppies. So the joints and the locking pins, trial and error. Like originally, these joints were actually spring and ball detent. Kind of like, you know, like on the top of a scope. When you rotate it, there's like a spring that pushes a stainless steel ball up into a detent or a depression, and there's a series of depressions all the way around, so it goes click, 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 click. And I was originally going to use that where you could buy a kit of springs and ball bearings for it, but the springs that had the necessary tension to make this work were extremely expensive, and it make the model cost prohibitive. And I didn't want it to be a model that people couldn't afford to make, so I had to figure out another way to make it out of just materials you could buy at a 3D printing shop or off of Amazon. And that's like one day I just had the epiphany. You know, TPU is an elastomer, it's stretchy. And I said to myself, well, you know, this rubbery compound can be replaced very cheaply. This costs nothing. And there's enough TPU in here for the entire model for like a year or so. So like if a joint were to like wear out, you just replace it, you know, and it'll run indefinitely. So then I said to myself, okay, well, let's just take these little paddles that I designed to fall into these grooves, these detents, and then let's just row up a bunch of holes in the back so you can just stuff TPU into it, cut it to length, you know, or sand it to length until you find a nice like feel to it, so the joint's got a nice snap. And then you could just go from there. And then if it ever wears out, you just replace it. So one of the ideas behind the model was making sure that it can be rebuilt and it'll last you a lifetime. You can make as many as you want. Yeah. I'm probably older than. Oh, I'm sorry. First off, you said 90s anime is beautiful. You're absolutely right. It is the best era of anime, in my opinion. I mean, it's also one of the darkest eras of anime. You look at anime today, and it's just fluffy and nice compared to the stuff we used to watch, you know. I'm probably older than everyone here, but I remember the anime in the 70s when I was a kid. Yeah, well, that's the best part about it was, like, even in the 90s, they're still playing the 70s stuff, you know. It's great. I mean, you can't beat it. It definitely had a feel to it that you don't get today. Yeah, there was an edge to it, for sure. And I was born in '79, so technically I'm a '70s kid. I'm the last generation of X, so I got some pull. Oh, Akira, yeah, one of my favorites. Best soundtrack ever. As soon as that soundtrack was available on CD, bought it. Okay, so this needs to go like so. Yes. Okay. Classic Gary, welcome. Yes, I did design this. Hey, Gary, may I ask you a question? How's my stream? Some of the guys are complaining it's a little bit chunky, a little bit, what's the term? Stuttery. Yeah, I did design this guy. And if you are a 3D printing guy and you want one, hit that Q&R code over there. You can go download and make as many as you want. Sorry, guys, you're going to hear me say that every time somebody asks. I don't have advertisers. I got to do my own promotion. There we go. Make sure I got that right. Let's be horizontal. Okay. Let that guy dry. Yes, okay. I have to double check everything because, like I say over and over again, I'm stupid. I'll forget. '90s recommendations? Good God, man. Okay. '90s anime recommendations. Let's see here. You did mention Akira. MD Geist 1 and 2. The dubbing is shit, but it's a great anime. If you just like mecha and cyborgs and murder and war and apocalyptia. Wicked City, Demon City. See, now you put me on the spot. Let me think. What's another one? Genocyber, excellent. Is it Magic 66? That's the precursor to the Ghost in the Shell. Trigoon, that's another one. Oh yeah, can't beat Trigoon. My God. Robot Carnival, Neo Tokyo. Those are like skit animes, so you get different animes from different artists all coming together. It's really sweet. Gosh, Bubblegum Crisis, 80 Police. Those are all based off of like the Blade Runner movie. What else? What else? What else? Gary, you need a link to the files. If you've got a Q&R code reader, you can scan the screen. It's right below my picture there, below the robot. But if you want a link, I could put a direct link in. I'll give you a second. What other? There's so many '90s animes that were really awesome. Gosh. Give me a second. Oh, Fist of the North Star. Oh, so good. Okay, Gary, I'll get you a link, buddy. Let me go to my other computer. Mouse is better. Touchpad suck. Four seconds. There you go. One link. Make as many as you like. Oh, I know, right? Blade Runner. Can I just say how disappointed I am in the second Blade Runner film? I mean, like, some people love it, but it just did not have the feel. It just wasn't there, in my opinion. I had high hopes. You're welcome, Gary. Anytime. On my, I think I put the link above, Gary. There are instructionals on how to put it together. I don't have a manual for how to put this together, but there are instructional videos that'll show you how to do it. And if you have any problems, you can always tune in here and just hit me up with whatever questions you got. Okay, gotta bring the old. My dogs are running around upstairs. Oh. You hear the pitter patter of large boxers' feet. Oh, the Into Andrew's Dream of Electric Sheep. No, actually, my father was reading it the other day, and I was like, I better read that book, you know. But as of late, I've been into the Horus Heresy Warhammer stuff, and I'm on the third book right now, Fulgrim, and it's some deep reading. But yeah, I do need to read that one. You know, it just is not enough hours in a day, guys. I'm telling you. Like if I could, I'd just stay up all night and live stream with you guys all night. You know, but I gotta get sleep eventually. Yeah. I mean, Blade Runner, they took a lot of liberties with the original story, apparently. And again, there's another awesome soundtrack right there. Oh my God. I mean, Blade Runner, you can't beat it. That was the thing for me for the longest time is if there was a good movie, I had to have the soundtrack too. Yeah, based off of that book. They've got a new Blade Runner TV series coming out apparently, and it just looks kind of meh, you know, kind of bland. It doesn't quite have that cyberpunk feel that we're all used to. Oh yeah. Oh, my brain has never really healed. It's been damaged for a long time. That's what having kids will do to you. You know, having that happy wife may give you a happy life, but it gives you a broken brain too. Kidding, I love you, honey. In case. So hey Gary, so do you have a 3D printer already set up and ready to rock? Restream IO, congratulations, you received 100 messages, blah blah blah. Oh, gonna make him do all the work, huh? What are friends for, right? Hey, more power to you. It'd be fun. You guys could build, print two of them out and build them together. Paint them whatever color you like. Okay. Why is this not opening up enough? There we go. And because I'm stupid, we're going to compare it to this guy. Make sure we're doing it right. Okay. Make them. Oh, geez. Well, $8 in gas, I mean, might be worth it. Just be sure you crash there, you know. Don't head home right away. Eat, you know, get into his fridge, make up for the gas money. Oh yeah? Oh, that's right. I guess you guys have STEM centers or maker spaces and stuff like that. A lot of schools or libraries here in the States will open them up. You can use their printers and stuff like that. You just provide the filament and you can go to town. Is it the same way in New Zealand? I have, okay, truth time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resin printers. And before you judge me, the resin printers are all used and they're old. So I didn't drop a whole bunch of money on it. I'm a Craigslist guy. I'm always looking out for a deal. And in terms of FDM printers, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. But 2 of them are broken. I also got his deal, so I got to repair them as well too. But yeah, when it comes to like 3D print, I always use the older ones too because of how cheap they are, you know. And once you get them tuned properly, they're slower than the newer ones, but they're cheaper and they're workhorses, you know, easily moddable, you know. I always check the Goodwill. Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay. An Elegoo for $10. You can't go wrong with that, dude. I mean, if you take it home and it fires up, psh, yeah. Well, yeah, they are addictive. It just depends on your needs. Like, you know, eventually I want to sell these things, you know, and I do some 3D printing business as well too. So I'll get an order and I'll have to have 3 or 4 printers at a time, either making different parts that are combined together, or I'm just doing big runoffs of small parts for people. Because I got friends in like the plumbing industry, um, uh, door manufacturing, and gunsmithing as well too. And I get random orders, so having 3 or 4 older printers just cranking parts out really helps. Plus, if I want to crank out one of these guys, I can do it in like a day if necessary. Dude, Gary, go for it, man. You know, you got the best thing to do if you want to know something works out. Try it. See, how you're gonna find out. Well, they are addictive, but you know, like I said, it just depends on what you use it for. Um, you may find that one printer does everything you need, especially if you're buying a newer one. They're a lot faster. You know, my printers, they're like this when they print. They just kind of meander about. But that A1 you're talking about, it's going to be going like that. It's going to take a tenth of the time. You know, it's going to be super fast. Now, in theory, I could jack mine up to go that fast, but oh man, the tuning. Nah. I figure I just run them slow and accurate. And the cool thing about this too is that the model will always be there and the printers are always going to get better, you know. And as the printers get better, the detail is going to come out more in the models. So if we can do this now with the older printers, just imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years. You're nuts. Okay, that's 2 of those guys. Now let's do 12 millimeter. Oh yeah, more 90s anime. Let me think. Tell me the ones that you know, because maybe you know one that I haven't seen yet. Because that does happen. I mean, I follow a lot of guys who do like on YouTube who do like, you know, movie reviews from the 80s and stuff like that. I'm like, they'll mention a film that I have never heard of. And it's like, how did I miss that? You know, and then I go back and watch it and it's awesome. Same thing with anime. 12 millimeter here. Almost there. Come on, 12. On the nose. Okay. Got our score line here. And cut, cut, cut. Okay, there we go. Twist, cut, twist, cut, twist. Come on. This is fighting me a little bit. There we go. And one more like that. Heavy Metal 2000? That's a pretty good one. Billy Idol was the voice of the bad guy in that. But what about the original Heavy Metal? You know, that had John Candy and Eugene Levy and Bill Murray and all those kinds of guys doing that stuff. That was, I love the original one. So great. And Wizards. I'm not sure if you ever seen that animation. I think just about a Kira Trigoon for me. That's why I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah, man. If I think of any more, I'll throw them your way because there's a ton. Well, I mean, they're animations. You know, they're not Japanese animations, but they're still animations. So, yeah, they'd count. I'd imagine. Even Fritz the Cat, you know. I mean, shoot, Smurfs is animation, you know, or anime. It's just American. At least I think it's American. You never know. Once upon a time, a lot of stuff was made in Canada, man. I used to love Canadian comedies. I used to watch Second City Television, you know? Love that show. Rick Moranis and John Candy, Eugene Levy. I don't think Gilda Radner was on that one. Who was the lady part? I don't know. Dan Aykroyd wasn't in Second City TV, was he? Don't know. Bugs Bunny? Yeah, that's a classic. Do you know who Bugs Bunny's illegitimate son is? It was never actually released in film, but it was Roger Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They were going to reveal in the second film that he was Bugs Bunny's son. A little trivia for you there. Now, if you're talking Warner Brothers cartoons, Tasmanian Devil was my guy. Oh, dude, manga? Super popular. My daughter reads manga all the time. I used to read manga too. Masumushiro, the guy who did uh, what's it called? Ghost in the Shell. He did one called Appleseed. Check it out. It's awesome. Wile E. Coyote. Acme products. The finest of Acme products. Did you guys ever see that skit from Family Guy where Wile E. Coyote actually caught the Roadrunner and what his life was like after that? It's sad. Okay. Whoops. I made a mistake here, but that's okay. We can roll with those punches. Go. That one will have to be shaved. Cartoon Network here in Canada had Adult cartoons? Should I dare ask what they were? I guess Canadian standards and American standards might be a little different about what they show. Shoot, if you ever watch 90s anime, I mean, you're going to get some adult theme material for sure. Oh, another one. Ninja Scroll. Lionheart, check out Ninja Scroll. That's a great one. That will change your life. Not all this is all movies, but okay, okay. Mature material, mature comedy, things like that. Yeah. Is the Cartoon Network canceled? I think that they're gone. I don't think they made it. It's been a strange time for television and movies. You know, everything's just changing with the internet and whatnot. Back when I was a young whippersnapper, we had to use a TV guide if we wanted to know what was on television. It was a small booklet that you had to open up, and sometimes it had a puzzle inside. Yeah, that's a shame. It was cool while it lasted. Oops. Oh, almost lost that guy. Okay. That's not opened up enough. Oh, dude, no, no, no. I watched black and white shows when I was a kid too. We had the Twilight Zone that was still on. We had uh, Dobie Gillis, Leave It to Beaver, the Patty Duke show. I mean, gosh, we had Outer Limits, all kinds of stuff. Little Rascals, yeah, there you go. And you know, I grew up watching Little Rascals, Three Stooges. Don't forget Three Stooges. Lost Ends. Let me grab my pen here. Lost Ends. Cool. I will check that one out. By the way, be sure to look on YouTube for some of those titles. You'd be surprised. Sometimes they're on there for free. Somebody's uploaded them and it never got caught by the algorithm. Like, I know for sure that the Fist of the North Star movie is there for free. I watch it all the time. Okay. Why is that not fitting? Ben 10. Hey, nothing wrong with Ben 10. Yeah. Right to, sorry. Right to left, top to bottom, back to front. It'll mess with you. Okay, clip this guy. Oh, you sail the seven seas? Cool. That would be a certain bay of Argy people. Arg me hearty. A veritable bay of pirates, maybe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Okay, gloomy. Let's see, what's my time looking like? About a buck 24 right now. Okay. Oh yeah. Come on, guy. check, because I'm stupid. There we go. These little ones, these little fiddly ones are the worst. Probably the worst part of the hydraulic system in this guy, but do it a couple times. You get used to it. I was brave enough to have something I love to do. Yeah, you know, I love camping too, man. I'll tell you, I'm a light sleeper, always have been. You know, and I hear a crack. You know, I'm rifle looking around. That was the one thing that camping always got to me is I was thinking there's a damn bear out there. You know, because here in Missouri we have black bear and brown bear, and we also have a mountain lion. You know, and they'll tear you up if you're not careful. But yeah, like I'm paranoid out in the woods. Build a big fire. Yeah, is it so like in terms of firearm ownership, is it based on which province you're in? Because like the guys in Alberta, I got the impression that they could own firearms. It's just like you're restricted as to which ones you can own. And then on top of that, it's like you have to have a license or something to that effect. But I mean, if you're going, you guys can hunt, right? You can own shotguns and rifles and things, right? Yeah, you guys. I mean, I know that in Australia back in '94 there was that one incident that caused a big uproar and a lot of banning and stuff. I'm not. I wasn't sure if that affected you guys as well. If you guys have the same rules and whatnot. Uh, yeah, it's pretty restrictive around the world, with the exception of here in like Austria. Yeah, almost. What about like bow and crossbow? Can you guys get that? Is that like, you know, I mean, in terms of penetration, a good bow or crossbow can rival a rifle any day. Like we do a lot of bow hunting around here, deer and pig and rabbit, things like that. Turkey as well. Oh, that's right. Wasn't he from Australia though? His name was like Tarek or Turek or something. I can't remember. Oh, for a bow and arrow, you dang, that sucks. I just get a slingshot then, you know, some ball bearings. Get yourself a sword, a machete. Yeah. Not even pepper spray. All right, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a petition. You guys can come join America. Get your rights back. We'll vote you into as a new state, and then we'll make, you know, poutine a regular dish here in America. We can do this. Yeah. God, that sucks. Yeah, great minds think alike. You're darn right they do. Oops, there she goes. Well, that's true. You guys don't have like Russian boars running around, razorback boars and stuff like that, you know, or you don't have mountain lions or anything? I know you guys got mountains. Oh yeah. Oh, you do have wild hogs. Okay. I was gonna say, gotta have something dangerous. Okay. It's that side. Yeah, what's funny about Missouri is that our wildlife is changing. It used to be that we were super conservative about um, hunting particular animals. Like there was a limit on how many deer you could take each year, and you could never hunt bears and whatnot. And all of a sudden, the deer population just exploded, and the bear population is exploding. So now they're issuing permits for it, you know, because they're just growing in number everywhere. And we're even getting, I believe, we're even getting elk down here now, which is hard to believe. You know, and that's a huge animal. Okay. Now, while those are drying, we can repopulate our legs here. That is not the right leg. I mixed them up again already. Tisk, tisk. There we go. Get the paddles on this guy. So I can show you guys the joint here again. There is the paddle with the TPU in it. And it doesn't have to be that amount. It's whatever works in your particular model. But for some reason, this amount at this height gives me just the right tension on the joint, so it's got a nice snap to it. And in this joint, there are 2 of them. So pop this guy open. And as you can see, there's the detents all the way around that they grip into. Oh, with a moose? Heck no. Oh my gosh. No, I would freeze solid and it'd probably stomp me to death. Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many videos of like hunters coming across female moose and their pups, and it's very tense. They're very aggressive. There we go. There you go, nice pop. All right. Now we need the screw. So do moose like get into your gardens and your trash and just like, you know, eat all your vegetables that you throw away and stuff like that? Because we have deer that do that here. They've literally figured out, they're like, oh look, a trash can, flips it open and just starts eating. Where's the screws? Oh, there she is. This is a screw, yes. In she goes. So what I like to do is get it so you can see a little gap in the joint, and then pull it open and slowly tighten the screw until you see that face just touch off. Comes together ever so slightly. And we're good to go. And now we can put our knee armor on and not be as mad as I was yesterday. Ah. There we go. Victory. And it fits. Coming back together. Shame too. Hate the waste of parts, but that's this game. Now let's see here. I believe that's the correct one for that guy. Let's pop this off here. Well, that's right. You guys don't have raccoons, do you? Or do they have raccoons in New Zealand? Yeah, I won't break it this time. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'll probably jinx myself. If I break it, stream ends. I'm just going to go punch a pillow for an hour. There we go. Oh, looks like my print is done. Put that guy there. A hedgehog is. You got hedgehogs out there. That's funny. Little spiky guys. Yeah, raccoons are the basically the criminals of the Midwest. Super smart. They've got hands like we do, and they've got, you know, a natural burglar's wrap around their face, and they're always getting everything. And they're super cute, but boy, they'll lay into you if you let them. Little buggers. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go grab a print. Now that's finished, I got also to set up print for these turrets here too. Oh yeah, rabies. Actually, hey JK, do you guys have possums up there in Canada, or is it too cold for them? Curious about that, because you know possums, they don't carry rabies. Like they actually, their blood temperature is so low that they can't even get the rabies virus, oddly enough. Okay. They've never seen an opossum before, so they look like a big rat. They've got a big, thick, leathery tail that they can wrap around and hang upside down with. They carry their babies on their back. And they got big, red, round, bulbous eyes. And they got like a mouthful of razor sharp teeth and big, long whiskers and a full white body. Yeah, look up opossum or just possum. What's really funny about the possum, it's got the personality of a cat. They really want to be domesticated. It's almost as if like God made them intentionally to be domesticated pets, but he left them out in the wild, because they tend to like find a person and want to be his buddy, and they'll literally like beg you for food and hang out, and they're not aggressive at all. Like if they see you coming, they'll play dead, and then you could just pick them up and pet them and then put them down, and then when they feel safe, they'll get up and walk away. But hey, don't take that as advice. Don't go petting the possums. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I'm just talking from personal experience. This show does not give advice on how to handle wild animals. Yes, I've heard that too. And I think it's just because they're hyper intelligent. I think they're really smart creatures, and they're pushing that direction. I mean, they spend so much time around human beings. For God's sakes, they pick up on all of our cues. You know, they're not dumb. I mean, I've seen, like, my aunt right now is actually she's part of a shelter, and she's raising 3 raccoon pups that she saved, and they're basically like cats. They hang all over all the time. Okay, come on. Let's see. Sometimes that support material does not want to come out. And that's a good looking palm. Yeah, squirrels are a pain, period. And yes, raccoons do thrive in cities. But they'll thrive anywhere. There's free food, they'll find it. Okay. Oops. Where's my other lighters here? If you ever want to see something funny, go on YouTube and type raccoon cotton candy. And raccoons, they like to wash their food before they eat it. And this one raccoon's got this big ball of cotton candy. He goes over to wash it, and his reaction is priceless. You can imagine what happened. Yeah, they do. They're in their den, and there's like a wall map of your house. And he's like, okay, we're gonna go through the basement. I saw a piece of cheese on the stairwell there. We'll make our way up into the cupboard, get the dog food, and then we'll make our way out the chimney top, and they'll be none the wiser. Little buggers. Oh, you've seen that one? Yeah, it's funny. There we go. Pop that sucker out. This one. One more time. There we go. Okay, those palms are cleaned up. Oh, give me a second. I gotta go and start the next print for these turrets so I can mount them to the frame. The frame. Jawohl. Yeah. Some hands. Turret 1. Nope. Turret 2. Nope. Turret 3. Yes. There it is. Okay. And we're back. Yeah, they do. It's funny. This raccoon's got this handful of like cotton candy. Smells like, oh, this could be great. Goes to a puddle, starts washing it, and then it's gone. He's just got this look like, where did my dinner go? Poor little bastard. But funny. Okay. Over here, you over there. You out of the way. And that leg is good. We need to borrow this joint now. There we are. There we go. I just go insane. I think I almost lost my head there. I was like, why does this not match up? That was scary. Okay, that one feels a little stiffer than the other one, but whatever, it'll polish up. It always does. Let's see here. There we go. That's a little loose. Not bad, but it needs a little more. See, as you can see, this one only has 2 pieces of TPU in either paddle on either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a third one in the middle, about the same height, just to add a little extra tension. No 2 joints are the same. They all tune differently, as I've learned. Okay, so we got our TPU in there now. Level it off to the other ones. It's 1. I appreciate that. It's funny, like, you know, I look at some of these other models, like these other guys make for Warhammer and stuff like that. I'm like, man, how do they get so much detail into it, you know? And they put ungodly amount of detail into their models. And like, I always feel like I'm just not putting enough in. So like, each model, I'm like, okay, next model, I'm like, you know, gotta have more panel lines, gotta have more, like, you know, like access panels and rivets in the right place and stuff like that. So it's always a back and forth. That's still not stiff enough. My dog just tried to jump in my lap and almost. Yeah, I know that one. I've got 2 boxers upstairs. They're about one's about 80 pounds, the other one's about 75, and they still jump in bed with me, thinking I'm gonna snuggle with them, and I do, but it's awkward. They're good boys. I just jump right in. Like, I have an idea of what I want to do, and the best way I do that is I put some music on, and I sit down with Tinkercad, and I just start throwing things together, start cutting and shaping. You know, if I get a block, a mental block, I'll go and, you know, look up some pictures online of, like, you know, like if I want to like find a certain aesthetic, like if I want a World War I aesthetic, I'll go up and look at, like, you know, British and German tanks from World War I or something like that. And you know, I get creative block too, just like anybody else. But yeah, just jump in and start going for it. For example, like the Maximilian machine cannon that this guy has. This right here. I mean, it's based off of a Maxim machine gun, you know, or a what's the other one? A Vickers machine gun, because it's water cooled, you know, and it's got this big canister on it. I said, okay, that's what I want. I like that, you know. And as a gunsmith, my mind's like, well, if you're gonna do it, you gotta have the right box so that the parts look like they work. You got your ejection port, you've got your magazine mount, you've got your coolant tank, you've got your feed, your input, you've got your top hatch so you can flip this part open for maintenance, you've got your cocking handle, and you've got your your ratchet gear here to lock it back in place after it's done. Then you've also got your flip switch on the back that locks the top down so it doesn't come out on you. You know, like it's like a the top of a tackle box, you know, that kind of thing. So like all those things are in my head when I'm making these guys, you know, and you do your research on top of that, and eventually it just kind of comes out in the model as you're making it. Yeah, I mean, there's always like there's the muse too, you know, the like you'll have a flare of creativity, like these flutes here. You know, I think that they were a bit bigger on the Vickers machine gun, or they didn't exist at all. I'd have to go back and look, but I threw them on there. I was like, yeah, that gives it a nice bit of detail, you know. And then when it came to the support for the magazine, I think I was watching a video about like pre-war Germany, and they had this bridge system that had this rail car on it, and it had these really nice archways and curls that supported the bridge. I was like, that's I gotta put that in there, you know. So it was added in. You take inspiration where you can get it, you know. That's a big one too. If it doesn't look like it's gonna work, I'm unhappy with it. And not to talk bad about Games Workshop, but some of the things I've seen they design, I'm like, my inner like, you know, engineer and gunsmith is just like cringing at some of the things they've done. It's like that would not function. It would not work. You know, it has to at least look like it's going to work, please. Oops. That one go. Uh oh. Down I go. Yeah, it's always been important to me that a model looks like it works, like it should function. Yeah, like it's believable. Like if I designed a model car, you know, I would be happy if like a car engineer was like looking at like, oh, I see what you did there. You know, you took the rack and pinion steering system from this or something like that, you know, and put it in there. You know, good on you for actually doing your research. Yeah. Okay, now we've got TPU in all four of those holes. Let's see how that tightens it up, if at all. Eh, a little better. I think I'm going to have to redo these. I think it's just too short. Yeah, eventually I plan to have a unit for this army that covers everything. Air unit, land unit, like this guy, you know, armor, meaning tank and APC, power armor guy, standard issue soldier and officers, things like that. Um, what else? What else? What else? I was thinking maybe even making like a blimp, like a battle blimp, like a dirigible, you know, that's like an armored dirigible, you know, that has a nuclear reactor on it that makes it fly. Not because it uses helium, but just because it like uses raw nuclear power to push it in the air, you know, something like that. Like I was thinking, like, you know, you like biplanes. I was thinking, how could I take a biplane and make it like a modern fighter, but still have the biplane aesthetic, you know, to add to this? Like, how could you take a biplane and make it not only something that would work in atmosphere, but would also work in, say, like a zero G environment? So, like, you know, it would change a little bit, it'd be a veritable fighter, you know, like the pilot would close the canopy and activate an oxygen system and then hit the thrusters and be able to go into space or something like that. You know, just fun things like that. Yes, drones are a thing. Um, in Warhammer, there's a race called the Tau, and they're all about their drones. You know, they've got suicide drones and turret drones and things like that. And I'm willing to bet in some other armies, uh, in other games too. Probably is it Conflict 47 that just is coming out? That one's a pretty cool one too. And they've got a lot of modern tech in it. I'm willing to bet they have drones as well. Like I think they just kind of count as like a soldier unit on the table, you know. I know, right? War was glory before, drones came about. Ah, another 90s anime you should see. You got me thinking. Drones. Macross Plus. That's Mac no Macross Plus. Macross Plus. It's a great three-part movie series. And it's kind of about that situation where these pilots get replaced by drones and it sucks. And that was back in the 90s when we were talking about that. Okay, let's see how this works now. Ah, there we go. That is better. And see, now we got some snap. And I didn't do it to both sides, both paddles. I just did it to one, and it just lengthened that one of them, so one's compensating the other. It's happy. I'm happy. Oh yeah, drones. Well, shoot, they were making back in World War II. They had the V2 rocket. I mean, and the V1, they were essentially drones. They didn't have advanced computer control systems, but they were able to shoot them across the English Channel into Britain, and with accuracy. And then the Germans in World War II, for a short period of time, had uh, drone tanks, and they were, I think, like about this big, and they had charges on them, and they were fly-by-wire, so they had like a cable on, but they were remote control tanks that they would zip out and run under other tanks and blow them up, like mobile landmines. Of course, after the war, the Allies got all that stuff. Okay, now let's test this knee joint. Fingers crossed. Come on, guy. There we go. Fits like a glove. To quote Ace Ventura. Also a well-known Canadian JK. Jim Carrey. That's funny, like the Canadians have produced so many good comedians over the years. I mean, it's amazing. You think, oh, he's a funny American comedian. No, not really. He's Canadian. You know. Let's see. Now it's drone walls in Ukraine. Oh yeah, I couldn't imagine fighting that war. I feel so sorry for those boys on both sides. It's disgusting and sad. It's a cousins war, and it shouldn't be happening. My wife's Ukrainian. She's really bitter about the whole thing, and I don't blame her. There's nothing you can say to console somebody in that situation, sadly. Okay. Swap the feet out here. Go. Yeah. Yes, they are. But in the meantime, let's keep talking about 90s anime. That stuff is all too depressing. It's all over the place. Okay, let's see this. It's that side. This is this side. Let's see how these ankles. Oh, this is right. Yeah. What are we doing here? Is that in? Don't want to cross thread it here. There we go. You know what the problem with making a model like this is? Is that it's never done. I'm always thinking of other things I can add to this sucker. Oh, that's good. That's a good angle right there. There we go. Like I was just thinking, I've got these knees that flex out and go over the joint and cover them nicely. Why couldn't I have an ankle armor that goes over this area too and look nice? And it would, you know. But let's save that for another day. Because I've gone back and revised this thing so many times. Because it becomes an addiction, you know. Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, I remember seeing that as a kid. It was one of a mini series where it had like the giant robot with the young man piloting and stuff like that. They like Japan put out a whole bunch of those. You know, everything from Voltron to that. And there was Togo as well, and what was the other one? Ultraman had something like that. Like there was a crossover with Ultraman as well. It was a huge robot driven by a human called Actaris. A robot was in a spaceship, Actaris. Yeah, I got to get my son to sit down and watch all that. I know, isn't it? Well, you know, I mean, people have wonderful imaginations. I mean, thank God the Japanese made that stuff. I mean, it really like it fuels a lot of young minds. Those guys had, you know, they had a lot of fun making that stuff too. I mean, to be a fly on the wall at a board meeting, they're talking about making that series and like how they're going to do it. Oh gosh, that'd been awesome. I mean, we don't make anything like that here in America, you know, except maybe the Iron Giant. I like that movie. That was a good one. American mecha films, a little questionable. I mean, we got Pacific Rim. That's okay. You know, that's definitely very like Japanese coded. I don't know. Do you know of this one midnight giant boat that started flying at the end of the episode? They always say going airborne. And maybe Battleship Yamato. Sounds like Battleship Yamato. That may have been an 80s anime, actually. Otherwise, going airborne. I think that's Battleship Yamato. Yeah. Does it take place in space as well, too? Nope, that's after that piece. Okay. Oh, I got to drill this guy out as well. It probably is Battleship Yamato. Yeah, the Iron Giant hits you in the old love pump, you know, where he's like Supermaning at the end. They don't make them like that anymore. Battle of the Planets. Sounds familiar. Got my drilling. Take a swig. And Battle of the Planets. Let's see what we got. I'm always looking for something new, you know, or old that's new to me to go and watch when I have time. Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, the Hawk guys, yeah. That's one of those animes I always saw as a kid, but never actually saw on television. I always saw like the VHS or the beta of it sitting on the shelf and never actually watched it. What was the one that we had? There was an American equivalent to that. Hawk cartoon, 1980s. What was it called? Yeah. We had what was called Silver Hawks, our crappy knockoff. Maybe you saw that one too. That was always on television, right after G.I. Joe. I remember that. And oh, Thundercats. Let's not forget Thundercats. That was originally a Japanese anime that was imported as well. Thunder, thunder, Thundercats. There we go. Put our coupler in here. Okay, hit me with it. Now, is that the puppet one? The old 1960s? One with the puppets? I'm pretty sure that's what that is. That's wild stuff, man. Yes, I love that. It's so, I mean, it's just so classic. Oh my God. And the sheer amount of work those guys had to put in to make that possible. Oh, more of an aircraft carrier. Okay. Huh. Come on. There we go. Maybe it was Robotech. That might be it. They had a carrier that they would take off like that. Yeah, dude. Thunderbirds. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that dark comedy called was it Team America, World Police? I think that they were copying their puppeteering, their the marionettes from that show. Yeah, I I know how you feel, man. Like I've got memories of certain films and shows in my head that I cannot for the life of me remember where they came from, and I'm still looking for them to this day. And music too. Like I'll hear a tune, I'll be like, I know that from somewhere, and I cannot place it. Yeah, man. Matt Damon. Yeah. Uh, I mean, it was a crude movie, but it was funny. You know, that's when I watch when the kids aren't around. uh, Matt Damon. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, a couple of Colorado boys. There we go. Let's see here. Oops, we're at 2 hours and 7 minutes, and it is midnight here. Okay, me boys. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It looks like we're getting there. I am going to have to call it a night, I'm sorry to say, because I have an early morning tomorrow, and I have some projects I have to do, but I will be back. I'm having too much fun with you guys. So stay in touch. I'm trying to get on at 10 o'clock at night Central Standard Time here in America. So 2 hours ago, whatever your time was, if you want to come back, it'd be good to have you guys back again. On the weekends, I'll be able to stay up later. But you know, when you get to my age, sleep is kind of a luxury. There we go. All right. Now we're looking good. I'm just going to slap this armor on here just to see, because I want to feel like I accomplished something. Cool. And by the way, too, guys, one other thing that we're going to be doing together in the future, the setup will change a little bit when I'm doing my painting and all that, so you guys can see how I do my paint techniques. But I'll show you guys how we're going to do the decal work too, so you can make your own symbols and decals for your models, so they're unique. And yeah, that'd be cool. All right, let's pop this hip on here. There we go. Hey, he's looking all right. Not so bad. How many days a week do I stream? I'm going to try and stream as much as I can. I'm going to try and make it a nightly event because, frankly, I enjoy this. It's therapeutic. I get to talk to nice people like you guys, and I get to work on my models, which I enjoy. But there is one hang up. I have to have something to make, you know? So it's kind of pushing me to finish off Vexus up here and the other model kits so I could print them out, so I have something to show and share with you guys. So yeah, I mean, as long as I have something to build, I'll be on here, you know. Sure. Just subscribe on YouTube, you know, and hit notifications, and it'll let you know, or Twitch, whichever one works, you know. Okay. So get your 3D printers together, get some filament. Now let's make some robots, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe. Okay. Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I can also showcase some other people's stuff too, I bet. But also, I mean, you know, the painting process is an arduous and slow one, so I'll have time to do that with you guys. Plus, I've got other model kits. I mean, things I've been meaning to make for a while too. So we'll just mix it up, have some fun. All right, fellers. I am out in a nice chat with you guys too. Out here in 3, 2, 1. Adios.